Glad to have you with us here on Seattle Seahawks Today. Tyler Jones here, and we are talking about the Seahawks salary cap situation. I am going to catch up to speed on some moves that they've done already to try to find more cash and some potential moves that could be in the works as well. We'll go over all of that here in just a moment. Let's set the scene for you here. The Seahawks entered the week with a grand total of $1.5 million in cap space, which you don't have to be a genius to figure out is not a ton of money that the Seahawks had at their disposal. So they need to go find some cash, which means there are some hard decisions to be made, whether it's cuts or restructuring, maybe it's trades. Nonetheless, the Seahawks got to go find some money, and they got to go find it here pretty quick. We'll go over everything in just a moment. Real quick, though. Seahawks fans, we are battling our 49ers report in a sub-battle all month long here throughout the month of May, beginning today. And we're starting 0-0. Let's see where things go from here as we take on Chase Sr. and the gang. Let's prove why Seahawks fans are the best fans, not just in the NFC West, but in the National Football League. For the latest happenings on your Seattle Seahawks, subscribe now to the channel for daily news and rumors, live shows every Wednesday, watch parties during the season as well. We are your Seattle Seahawks headquarters here on the channel. We got you covered. Just reached 52,000 subscribers, and we're not stopping there. Join the family now, youtube.com/SeahawksTV. All right, let's start with Mike Jackson. As Mike Jackson, it was announced on Monday, is taking a cap cut. Okay? Hear me out on this, folks. This is what's going on with Mike Jackson. He's going from $3 million to $1.2 against the salary cap for 2024 of what he will count as. And so that's going to free up about $1.5 million in cap space. So that nearly doubles what the Seahawks had in cap space, but it's still not a ton of money. The Seahawks are going to need to find more. And as far as Mike Jackson goes, this is a situation that should keep him in Seattle. There were questions about his future after Seattle drafted not one but two corners from Auburn University in DJ James and Nehemiah Pritchett just a week or so ago, right? And with the new regime and everything, Mike Jackson being an older guy now compared to the young core in that corner room, but it looks like he's staying for now and will compete for one of those starting outside corner gigs. So what else could the Seahawks do to go find money? First off, restructure DK Metcalf. He got a new contract a couple of years ago, but if they move some money around, there's a chance to save some money when it comes to DK. A restructuring of his contract could save the Seahawks close to $6 million against the cap for 2024, which would be significant. And I have said for a very long time on this program, I have been very adamant that the Seahawks do not need to move on from DK Metcalf as far as a trade goes. I know that that's been talked about, and if the Seahawks were to do a trade, it would have to be post-June 1 and all that in order to make financial sense. But I think that it's best for the Seahawks to keep DK around, restructure that contract, save a little money, and keep on rolling with DK. Because right now he's in his prime years. You don't know how much longer you're going to have Tyler Lockett. JSN is just starting to come together. This receiving core has a chance to be the best receiving core in football, and they need to lock that in. DK, get that contract restructured a bit, go free up some money, and you can take this team to another level. Keeping DK around is a vital piece to this organization. Let's ask you, our pinned comment today, should the Seahawks keep DK? I'm very adamant he shouldn't go anywhere. What do you guys think? Type Y for yes, N for no. Let us know in the comments section. Another restructure candidate, Dre'Mont Jones. He got that big contract last offseason, and we can all sit here and say it was a bit of an overpay for Dre'Mont Jones, especially with the lack thereof of performance. He now enters 2024 with question marks on what his role is going to be. Does he become a rotational piece now that the Seahawks drafted Byron Murphy II out of Texas, or does he still get the start at the defensive end spot potentially? That remains to be seen what Mike Macdonald has in mind. But nonetheless, if the Seahawks were to restructure him, you're looking at saving close to $5 million there against the cap. So I want Dre'Mont to stay here. I know he's another name that's been talked about, but realistically, you're not going to get your return on investment on the trade market. If you were to trade him, there's still money you'd have to pay him, and you're not going to get a ton back for somebody else taking on that heavy contract. So if you can restructure and keep him around, give him one more shot, I think that would be the best effort for Seattle there. One idea that might ruffle some feathers a little bit is the possibility of the Seahawks cutting Jarran Reed. Hear me out on this, folks. Jarran Reed is essentially being replaced by Byron Murphy, right? Whether we see Jarran Reed move to defensive end or become the main backup defensive lineman there, nonetheless, the future is Byron Murphy. It's not Jarran Reed. And although Jarran Reed had a pretty solid season last year, specifically in the first half of the year, you have to ask yourself, how much longer can he go? If you do cut him, you're looking at saving close to $5 million, 4.87 to be exact. And you look at the production from Jarran Reed. He was solid. 7 sacks last year, 54 tackles, 7 tackles for loss. But I wonder how much of that is going to stay, how much of that is going to continue. And if you can't keep everybody, it's going to. We mentioned the Draymond Jones contract. You're in a bit of a pickle there, right? And you just paid Leonard Williams, you draft Byron Murphy and all that. If somebody's got to go, I hate to say it, but Jarran Reed would be that guy. So as much as I want to keep him personally, I don't know if there's a pathway, in all honesty, to keep him with the money the Seahawks need for other things right now. So let's ask you, should the Seahawks cut Jarran Reed? C for cut, K for keep. Weigh in the comments section and let us know what you think. We mentioned Byron Murphy earlier, and I got to tell you, folks, now's an exciting time to get Byron Murphy jerseys on sale now at chatsports.com/Murphy. Whether it's the home jersey, the road jersey, comes in all different sizes, men's and women's options as well. We know Byron Murphy is going to wear the number 91, so this version you see on your screen right now, it's actually going to be the 91 that you would be getting. And these things are going hot, folks, so you want to make sure and get yours now while supplies last. Chatsports.com/Murphy is where you can get yours today. The link is in the comments and description of today's video, chatsports.com/Murphy. Last on this is Julian Love. Julian Love had a breakout season in 2024 for the Seattle Seahawks, coming over from the New York Football Giants. And when the Seahawks cleaned house with the safety room, with moving on from Jamal Adams and Quandre Diggs, the Seahawks put themselves in a position where they made Julian Love the heartbeat of that safety room, if you will. He is the guy, right? And so I want to see Julian Love be here long term. And you could extend him, lock him up, make sure he doesn't go anywhere else. And not to mention, I think Julian Love is going to have an even better season than what he did in 2023, especially in this Mike Macdonald defense, to actually have decent coaching on the defensive side of the ball, going from Clint Hurt to AD and Mike Macdonald. I think Julian Love's got a chance to really thrive and potentially play at an all-pro level here. If you wait this out, then the price tag is only going to go up from there if you let Julian Love have a big year and pay him later on. So not only could you save, we mentioned the $3.1 million by extending him now, but also you could save money down the road by taking care of this compared to having another big season for Julian Love, who's still a very young player at this point. All in all, if the Seahawks made these 4 moves, we're looking at Seattle saving $18.844 million against the cap here, folks, which would be huge for the Seahawks and provide a lot of financial flexibility if they were to go that route. With where things stand with the roster right now, what's your confidence level in this Seahawks roster here? Now that the draft has concluded, we're through a lot of free agency, still more work to be done. We mentioned got to go find money. How is your confidence level at the moment? Scale it for me 1 through 10 in the comments section. I got about a 7.5, if you will. I like this group, but there's still some holes that need to be plugged up. Let us know what you think. Subscribe now to Seahawks Today for continuing Seattle Seahawks coverage. I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.